Napoleon Bonaparte, the military genius who conquered Europe. Except for one tiny, fluffy foe that sent him running for his life, a horde of bunnies. Yes, you heard that right. This is the unbelievable, ridiculous, and 100% true story of how Napoleon, the great emperor, was defeated by rabbits. It all began in the summer of 1807. Napoleon had just wrapped up a series of military victories, and to celebrate, he decided to treat his officers to a grand rabbit hunt. It was meant to be a relaxing day in the countryside, a chance to unwind, enjoy the spoils of success, and maybe brag a little about being Europe's most powerful man. Napoleon put his men in charge of organizing the event, and that's where things went terribly wrong. You see, to pull off a proper rabbit hunt, you need wild rabbits, fearful, quick, and ready to scatter at the first sign of danger. But Napoleon's men, eager to impress, took a shortcut. Instead of wild rabbits, they gathered hundreds, possibly thousands, of tame, domesticated rabbits. These rabbits had spent their lives being fed and cared for by humans. They weren't afraid of people. In fact, when they saw Napoleon and his officers arriving, they didn't think predators, they thought lunch. When the rabbits were released, it should have been a glorious hunt. Napoleon stood there, rifle in hand, ready to show his officers the kind of precision and control he was known for on the battlefield. But instead of running, the rabbits charged. First, it must have seemed funny, one or two rabbits hopping toward them. But then came dozens, then hundreds. A tidal wave of fluffy fur and twitching noses stormed across the field. The rabbits swarmed Napoleon's boots, climbed up his legs, and hopped onto his coat. His officers tried to shoo them away, but the rabbits were relentless. They weren't scared, they were hungry. Napoleon, the man who had crushed armies and toppled kings, suddenly found himself flailing in the face of a bunny invasion. Realizing the situation was spiraling out of control, Napoleon turned to retreat. But the rabbits weren't done. They chased him across the field, swarming like a fuzzy army with one mission: conquer Napoleon. Desperately, Napoleon and his officers fled to their carriages. But even there, the bunnies weren't ready to surrender. Some of them hopped into the carriages alongside the fleeing emperor, refusing to be left behind. Imagine it. Napoleon, the scourge of Europe, swatting rabbits out of his lap and yelling, "Drive faster!" In the end, the great emperor and his men were forced to abandon the hunt entirely. Napoleon had been outnumbered, outflanked, and utterly humiliated by rabbits. While he would go on to fight many more battles, this one became a legendary story, a strange and hilarious footnote in history. It turns out that Napoleon's toughest opponent wasn't the British, the Prussians, or the Russians. It was an army of fluffy, determined bunnies. So the next time someone tells you history is boring, remind them of the day Napoleon Bonaparte, the mighty conqueror, was forced to retreat from a bunch of rabbits. If you enjoyed this bizarre tale from history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And stay tuned for more twisted, funny, and unexpected stories from the past, right here on History with a Twist.